right. Okay. How's everybody doing? Welcome. I've been very excited to do this for a long time. I hope at least a few of you out there are excited as well. The start of a new championship season. Gonna be doing the 1989 CART PPG IndyCar World Series. It's a mouthful. Gonna be doing that in IndyCar Racing 2, and doing it a bit different than I think I've done stuff in the past, taking a little chapter out of Ted Mead's book. We're going to be doing a full-length full season. And so this stream today is just one race. It's the first race of the championship. There's 15 races total, and we'll go through the schedule in a second and everything. But full races, which sounds pretty wild. However, IndyCar races mostly are under 2 hours. So it's not such a crazy prospect to do full races, and that opens up the strategies, and I think ultimately makes it a lot more fun. So been very excited for a while to want to do a stream with this, and you know, despite a couple of the races will be quite long ones, but otherwise you know, I think this will be pretty fun to do. So before we jump in, I wanted to go through some of the championship stuff and just get everybody oriented. Yeah, Kaya, I am using, so I got this in the bottom right hand corner of the sim screen. You can see my wheel and pedals and stuff moving. So I found out a way for you to see my inputs, also for myself. If I crash or something, I can see what I did wrong. But we can go through, orient ourselves and everything. So we're gonna be doing the 1989 CART Championship, and we'll be driving as Ryan Axelson. So this is son of Richie Axelson, the famous F1 great. Rookie season driving for the SUNOCO-Papyrus Racing team, and this I'll be racing a Lola Cosworth. So one important thing about IndyCar 2, there's only one physics set for the sim. So it is originally based in 1995, so the cars will act and drive like the 1995 counterparts, but in my opinion, from 88 through 95, the speeds definitely changed, but they're not so different that it's unbelievable or anything. But yeah, we got Sunoco on the car, so we'll be taking our Lola Cosworth here for the rookie campaign, and figure I can go through the opponents since we're going to have to get used to everybody I'm racing against. The field, I've got a full 33 car set and everything, so at Indianapolis 500, at the Michigan 500, at the Pocono 500, we'll have full field there. But at the other tracks, it is less. And I think at the small ovals like Phoenix, like I'm racing today, we'll have 26 cars. So we have here Emerson Fittipaldi, of course, for Penske Racing, Indy 500 winner from the year. Very classic paint scheme and everything. Patrick Racing, the car. It's right before they switched over to Penske Racing. Rick Mears as well. He actually won the Phoenix race, so driving the classic Pennzoil number 4. Got Danny Sullivan. He had the Miller High Life car this year. I think they switched from that red and white design that he won the championship with, or won the Indy 500 with in '86. To this gold and white one, which is a cool livery. Got Michael Andretti in the 6. This is important. Michael Andretti's the 6, and Mario Andretti is the 5 with the red. I gotta remember that because they both pretty much have the same helmet. If we look at Michael and Mario, it's really the roll hoop and everything that tells us the difference. So I guess we'll have to remember Mario's in the 5. He's the older one, so he has the smaller number, maybe. Yeah, this is a nice car set too. I mean, I know every time I play one of these older games, we get a lot of comments on the graphics, but for IndyCar 2, I think this is one of the best looking graphical car sets that there is and everything. We got Teo Fabi in the 8 Porsche. Now, in some of my testing, Teo's been very quick, so they did win. I think Porsche won their only IndyCar race at Mid-Ohio in 1989. So I expect Teo to actually be pretty competitive, and he was no slouch in some of the practicing I did, so we'll have to see how old Teo Fabi and the Porsche team does, and everybody roots for them. Got Unser Jr, of course, famous crash out of the Indy 500 against Mo there at the end with the Valvoline Gallus Racing car. Scott Pruitt in the 3. This is one you may not remember potentially, but racing for True Sports. We have Bobby Rahal racing for Krakow Racing or Krakow Racing. So I think this is the season after Bobby switched out of True Sports to Krakow Racing, but they'll both be maybe not at the front of the field, but they'll be up in the top 5 or something. Ari Lyondike in the Dick Simon Racing, number 7. It's a pretty cool livery car. Scott Brayton, of course, for Dick Simon Racing. And Randy Lewis for Dick Simon Racing as well. Got Rahal Boisel, the Domino's car. Love that paint scheme. Might be one of the last seasons at it. I think 1990, Ari Lyondike was racing for them and won the 500, but that might have been the final year for it. Derek Daly, the Connor Daly's dad, Derek, here racing for Raynor Racing. We got Kevin Cogan as well. We might be getting to the point where some of these will be the ones that aren't in the Phoenix race. I think Pancho Carter will be. We got John Jones as well. Bernard Jourdain was Rookie of the Year, 1989. And AJ Foyt. Okay, so these will still be in the race today. AJ Foyt there. One of his final seasons. I think he retired in 93, right? Under that season, but have him here in 89. Didier Thays. I love that car. That's one that Granatelli Racing. I know Roberto Guerrero had raced it for a few seasons. John Andretti. Get through the last few of these. Guido Dacco here in the 19. Roberto Guerrero in the 21. Dominic Dobson. Fabrizio Barbaza. 12. These are some names you probably haven't heard in a while. Ludwig Heimrath Jr. here. It's Steve Saline. Al Unser. So Al Unser will only be at the big races, but he was racing for Penske Racing with the 25 in 1989. Got Jeff Wood. I think we just got a couple more. Jan Beekes. So for folks that didn't know, Jan Beekes actually did race IndyCar occasionally in the 90s. So he raced for Bettenhausen Motorsports here. And then Scott Atchison. Never heard of Scott Atchison, so we'll have to see how he does. And then lastly, Johnny Rutherford. And this is the only fictional-ish car in the grid. Johnny Rutherford, I believe, did qualify for Indy in 1989, but he didn't qualify for Menard Racing, and actually says Hemmelgarn Racing down there. For some reason, the car set has 32 cars, and the 33rd one is a little fictionalized, but I think everybody will forgive that. So that's our field for the 1989 championship. I expect the Penske's. I expect Patrick Racing with Emerson Fittipaldi being up front, Teo Fabi. We'll have to see how the rest of it shakes out. But we'll go through, just confirm the options, mostly for myself to make sure that I'm not not missing anything. A lot of those guys, yeah, it's so the car set itself is not the Indy 500 grid. It's not just the full season competitors. It's kind of a mishmash to try to get a believable, somewhat racing grid for each race, but it's not the perfect one. All right, so I just want to go through the options real quick, mostly for myself to make sure I've got everything set correctly before we start this championship. But 100% race length is what we'll be doing. So at Phoenix here, it's going to be a 200-lap race. The real races were like an hour and a half, so it's not even a super long race. But 200 laps for Phoenix. Of course, some of the 500 milers, they'll be quite long. Quite long. I debated this for a while. So for car damage, I'm going to go with arcade for this season. Arcade does not mean you can't DNF. You can still, hit the wall hard enough for a wheel to fly off. You can still damage your wings and all this, but it's a little bit harder to do all of that. You have to really hit the wall. So it keeps you honest, but it's not such a penalty that if you just scrape the wall, you break the wing, which the realistic damage for IndyCar 2 is very realistic. If you just tap the wall, you'll mess up the whole car. But it's still, in my opinion, these sims are hard enough to control fine movements that I think it would be unfair to race on. Full damage for myself. So we're going to do arcade, but I still can't just hit the walls and stuff. Still very much a chance of breaking down. Breakdowns, I also debated this. I'm going to go with off for this season. It would be obviously more realistic to have them on, but I think there's plenty of other stuff that could go wrong here. Doing a live stream, live commentary, racing the other cars for a full race that I would hate the fuel pump to just break you halfway through or something. So, yeah, Ted's the hardcore guy that'll do all the hard stuff, but I want to have fun with this mostly, and so I want breakdowns to be off for myself. I think the AI will still have breakdowns and everything, so we'll have a little bit of an advantage there. When we get to the street circuits and stuff, I might just break down my own car by accident. So, but we will do yellow flags, of course, pace laps, and then random weather, so we have all of that realism. Ooh, for some reason it disconnected. I think I'm back. Hopefully I'm back. That was weird. Doesn't bode well. Hopefully it's all working still. Interesting. That's never happened. Let me know if it drops out though. So what was I saying about the number of opponents and strength and everything? 95% strength of the cars that you're racing largely depends on the car set that you have. So I've found that 95%, if I'm like pushing, doing really well, I have a chance to win with that. But definitely it's no slouch either. So that'll be what I go with for this. All right. Yeah, I guess, what is that? The kite experience. Yeah, you joined too powerfully. Driving aids, I got everything off for that. Graphics maxed out, so you'll see all the beauty that is IndyCar 2. Okay. Oh man. Okay, so this is, I think we're ready to go. So we'll take a quick look at the schedule. Overwrite, save, season, yes. All right, so here it is. Season schedule. So it's a 15 race season for 1989, and it's a pretty good one, I think. It's got a great balance of different types of circuits. So in my opinion, it's a great schedule track-wise. There's a few problems with the order of the circuits. Oh, Silent Soul, it's Salaryman. I don't know, it says Silent Soul, but thank you very much. Good luck and good stream. Thanks so much for $6.99 there. I'm not sure what track it's supposed to be in the background. Selfishly, I always thought that track was New Hampshire, because that's, you know, the closest track to me, and it kind of looks like it, but it could be Milwaukee or something. So yeah, this is the season schedule, all 15 races from Phoenix, Long Beach. So what I was saying, I think the schedule has a great composition of tracks, but the order is a little weird. We got a really oval-heavy start to the season with Phoenix, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, only Long Beach in the middle there. To break up the ovals, and then we go on a long stretch of just road circuits: Belle Isle, Detroit, Portland, Cleveland, Meadowlands, Toronto. So those are all, you know, road and street tracks. And then we get to the two other 500 milers with Michigan and Pocono back to back. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's a great schedule, but it's a little bit mixed up. I'd like to have spread out the ovals a bit more. But then ending the season, Mid-Ohio, Road America, Nazareth right at the end there, and then Laguna Seca. And I'll say this is very close to the actual 1989 schedule. The one track which is wrong entirely is Belle Isle. That would have been the Detroit City street track, the same one the Formula One raced on in 1989. But that track doesn't quite exist yet for IndyCar 2. It's actually being worked on, but it's not one that fully exists enough to race on. So we'll be going to the Belle Isle, Detroit. I actually like that track better anyway. And then there's a couple minor changes here and there with some of the circuits that isn't perfectly accurate, but we actually do have accurate versions for quite a few of them, like Meadowlands, for example, Cleveland, Portland. There's some great work that's been done over the years by mainly Pavel69, but also some other folks in the IndyCar Racing 2 community that have, you know, built amazing tracks for us to race on. So excited for it, but first we'll start with Phoenix and the Checker Autoworks 200. Noise outside. All right, so we're here. I'm going to do a little bit of practice just to make sure everything's working as I'd expect it, and then we'll jump right into qualifying and race. But let's see. So I've got some setups that I've been working on. I'm actually going to go out and try the qualifying setup, so that's what I'll be doing first. Anyway, we'll do a few laps. Yeah, most of them are by Pavel. All right. I love the music though. Okay, so let's do a little practice. Phoenix, 1 mile oval, fast racing. The main thing to worry about around Phoenix is the lap traffic. The way I've got the car set up for the race, I think it'll be not so bad to control. I do got to play with the bars a little bit. It's probably worth talking about all the controls and stuff. IndyCar 2's got a lot going on, which makes it quite a lot of fun to race, but I'll walk through the cockpit real quick. On the bottom left, I've got my boost knob, which I've got actually mapped to my steering wheel here. So You can see it going up and down there. 9 is full boost, full speed, and you can crank it back to save fuel mostly, but it also obviously produces less power. Thanks, Jason. Love your enthusiasm. Keep up the great content. Thank you. Glad to be here. So I got the boost I can play with. For Phoenix, you know, especially because I don't have breakdowns on, it shouldn't be an issue keeping it at 9. But, you know, if I'm out front and want to save some fuel, or we get off strategy because of yellow flags and all of that, then I'll have to maybe play with the boost or something to get the fuel to go back. I think I can do, on a full tank of fuel, 75 to 80 laps. And so it should be a pretty easy 2-stop race. We'll have to see. So on the dash itself, in the middle, I've got laps at the bottom middle, and that's how many laps left I can do on the current fuel. You can actually shift through a couple options there, but mostly keep it on laps because it's it helps just track the mileage and all that. And then on the right side, obviously the fuel light's blinking because I'm in the quali setup. So just got a few gallons of fuel to go fast. And right above the fuel, I've got 3 bars there. You can see F, R, and B. So that's my front and rear roll bar, and I can change those on my steering wheel here. Stiffen the front, you know, reduce the front strength, same with the rear. And that's just to help change the balance of the handling. And over the course of a fuel run, these cars handle way differently. So you won't have the issues, if you set up the car, you know, reasonably well, you won't have the issues like I had in NASCAR Racing 1, where, you know, halfway through the run your car is just understeering and you can't do anything about it. You can change the car quite a bit to help suit that. So a couple cars, not really driving at full speed right now, but so my setup I've got for this race is actually surprisingly stable on the bars, but I probably will need to play with the rear bar a little bit. Watch out for Randy. What did Randy do in this race in real life? I haven't watched it in a little while. So turn 2 there, the kink is definitely the tricky spot on this track, especially with the AI underneath Kogan there. Bobby right in front. I'm way quicker than these guys right now because I have pretty much no fuel. Yeah, and the B up there is your brake bias, which I'm not going to need to touch for this track. You only barely use the brakes going into turn 1 here, you know, from my setup and everything. But at the road courses, absolutely, that'll be something probably want to play with a bit. And I've got that all mapped on the steering wheel and everything. Of course, I have the gear indicator in the bottom right. Probably just leave it in 6th gear here, although I can get a little more out of 5th gear in certain situations underneath this car. Come around. I want to practice a pit stop here real quick, and then we'll go qualify. Car feels good on the qualifying setup here, but it's all about, you got 2 laps to try to do it around Phoenix, and it's all about just trying to get mostly a flat out lap. Turn 3 here, turn 1 obviously you got to totally didn't even think about pitting. Well, let me go around again. I don't think I'll actually make it. This is the stuff that I'm gonna have to make sure I don't screw up during the actual race. I think a lap takes about a half tank of fuel. So I'm gonna run out right here as I come to the end of the lap. So I crank the boost down. Pitting here is not so hard. You always have the first pit stall in IndyCar 2, which is hard at the super speedways especially. All right. So the car feels pretty good. I think overall we're ready for qualifying. I'll load my setup once again. Appreciate everybody being here. 183 watching. Pretty cool for IndyCar 2. All right, so we're gonna do qualifying. It's 2 laps of qualifying. You do get 1 warm-up lap though, like in real life. So pretty cool that they do that in the sim. The rules and everything are correct. We'll go out and see how fast I can go. Hoping for 181 miles an hour, 182 miles an hour lap. We'll see what I can do. See where that puts me, and then we'll take a look at the grid and everything. Got it on low boost though. I know that, just to do the out laps. I don't run out of fuel on the fast one. through 3 and 4. You can definitely turn 3 there is where I'm worried about losing the rear end, you know, in certain situations. Yeah, and IndyCar 2 does the qualifying correct at different tracks. So at Indy, it's a 4-lap average, whereas this track, it's a 2-lap. Each lap is independent. Whatever the quicker one is your time. But all right, we'll come around turns 3, 4, and try the 2 qualifying laps here. Across the line, green flag. Oh, car's a little, I don't know if you can tell, but the car dances a little bit there through turns 1, 2. Smack the wall slightly. There we go. Just a lift of the throttle on the way in. You don't want to pull it out too quick. It can upset the car. All right, 180 mile an hour lap on the first one. P13. That's not as good as I was hoping. See if I can push here a little harder on the second lap. Into turn 3. She sticks. Oh, she slides a little bit there in the middle. Get it on the low side on the way out. Come to the line. 181 on the second lap, only P11 though. I was hoping for a top 10 qualifying, but well, at least I'm in front of the really slow cars. But P11's not nearly as good as I was hoping for the qualifying run. But overall, let's take a look then at the qualifying results. Yeah, not too bad, but wasn't as good as I was hoping. So Emerson Fittipaldi, of course, on the pole, 183.2. I've done a 183, like really pushing it. So not too worried about that, but they're very quick. And it's very quick, very close up front. We got Emerson Fittipaldi, Michael Andretti in second, number 6, got to remember that. Teo Fabi in third, Rick Mears in fourth, and Danny Sullivan in 5th place overall. Yeah. Unser Jr. is a little bit better in the race conditions. He was always very conservative on the starts, but it paid off for him plenty of times. Yeah, so we're going to have to pass a lot of cars here. Mario Andretti in 7th, Derek Daly, Scott Pruitt, Rahal Boisel, and then I'm in 11th, Ryan Axelson there. Ahead of Bobby Rahal, Ari Lyondike, John Andretti, Roberto Guerrero. So I got some quick guys behind me, but it does fall off quite quick with the speed. I've only got a couple more cars in the 180s behind me, and then it really tails off. There's some very slow cars towards the end of the pack, but that's realistic. We'll be lapping cars, I think, in under 10 laps, and it gets really crazy. It's quite fun if you don't crash. Pancho Carter there in 16th, Randy Lewis 17th, Kevin Cogan, Scott Brayton. We got at the very back, AJ Foyt. Oh, 174. He's almost 10 miles an hour off. Poor AJ. Surprising, actually. He was still quite good at the ovals, even up until the very end. All right, so I'm going to do a quick just lap or two in the warm-up here with the race setup, make sure everything feels good. But for the race, I mean, for those curious, got a quite heavy downforce setup at Phoenix. For tires, I mean, you've got both compounds and pressures to play with in IndyCar too. So we're going with a medium right rear, but it seems to last the full stint. So it'll be close though. The right front, right rear, depending on how much I push the car during the stint, will definitely wear out. Softs on the inside, got a 1-inch stagger. Wings 16 degrees front, 12.6 rear. So it's heavy downforce. We of course have the short oval road kit on as well. So the car has quite a bit of downforce here. All right, we'll just do a couple laps here in practice warm-up for the race. Just make sure the car feels good, refuel it, and then get started with the race itself. I'm running a Lola Cosworth, and remember, it's the 1995 chassis and everything, so Lola's a pretty good one. You have Lola, Penske, or Renard to pick from for chassis. Yeah, Goodyear was the only tire that existed. I believe Firestone came in '94, and in this we still have 2 tire compounds. I'm racing on Goodyears, and I can't actually remember the difference in sim. I think one of them is quicker over a single lap versus the other one's quicker over a stint. I can't remember which way they are. They're not so different that it really kills you or makes you. but I'm racing on the Goodyears. Any of the cars that you see with the silver rims have the Goodyears, and then the Firestones are the black rims. Unknown if the AI cars are affected at all by that type of stuff. Probably start with the rear bar, one click down. That'll tighten up the car a little bit on exit. And we'll definitely start with full boost, but for the pace lap, we'll have it down to 1 to save. So I'm hopeful 200 laps. I can do, 75 laps on a stint, and I can short pit slightly on the last one. That'll probably be what I go for. Want to stay out pretty much as long as you can, just in case you catch a yellow flag. The field in IndyCar is frozen immediately, so you can, if you pit right away and then a yellow flag comes out, obviously you lose quite a bit of time. All right, we'll come into the pits this time though. Pit speed is 80 miles an hour for all the tracks. Which is not so hard here. It's a lot harder at like an Indianapolis or Michigan or something. Especially because you have the first pit stall, though. It really only matters on the way out. All right, let the guys fill it up. Okay, so I think that's pretty much everything. 200 laps here. Weather-wise, I haven't really been paying attention to that, to be honest, too much. 84 degrees there, felt fine, so we'll see if it changes dramatically or something. Will the pace car drive into me? Maybe. A lot can happen here, so I'm excited for this. These races are pretty long, and so there's no reason to push, super hard right off the line. I do, want to make sure I get a decent amount into the race, but staying on the lead lap is a big thing. Starting in 11th position, so, there's a little bit of traffic and stuff to negotiate. I have to imagine I'm going to pass a few cars immediately, but getting through the first, 25 laps or so will be really important. We'll start catching the lapped cars, and then patience, I think. Got to make it to the end. That's really my main goal here for this, is making it to the end and just seeing how it shakes out from there. I think if everything went perfect, I could win this, but starting in 11th might be kind of hard. I think a few of the cars up front will be really quick. But appreciate everybody joining here today. So let's do it. Let's do round number 1 of the 1989 championship, the Checker Autoworks 200. All right, so we'll do the pace lap on the inside. Just raise the boost before the line. So it's a good string of cars in front. It'll be interesting the first few laps. I think I've set an unofficial redo limit. If it's less than 10% of the race done and something crazy happens that's really out of my control, I may restart. But hopefully we won't have to do that. Get into turn 3 and 4 here. I'm going to start with full boost. Pretty much leave it at full boost in most situations here. Yeah, remember the keys to the 500. Of course, field gets a little strung out ahead. Come to the green flag. Laid back a little bit, but you got to be conservative. Cross the line, take the green, come down to turn 1. That's Bozell on the outside. The Domino's car, he's going to squeeze me down. You don't want to go too wide through this kink. I've learned my lesson there, trying to battle the AI too wide through the kink. I'm into turns 3 and 4. Understeering a little bit. We'll get in front of Bozell there. Oh, all right, complete lap number 1. That's a big hurdle. 199 laps to go. All right, I think we got Derek Daly in front of me here. Raynor. You got to set up the cars to pass him. You can't just dive anywhere on the course. I'm understeering a little bit coming out of the corner. So it's important to set them up. I think my favorite place to pass is going to be going into turn 1 or into turn 3 like I did on Boiselle there, but you need to have a good run to be able to do it. All right, Daly swings out wide a little bit, try to get a good exit, understeering a little bit. The tires are still cold, but we'll get a good run on him down the front straightaway, up the inside, into turn 1 again. Up behind Unser Jr. now. Gotta watch that wall coming out of turn 2. He swings wide. Ooh, come into turn 3. Back out of it a little bit. It's like almost like little fighter jets in these things. Things happen so quickly. Hopefully I can just stick with it. Car feels very heavy right now with the full fuel, so it'll liven up a little bit. Once I burn down maybe 30 gallons, things will come alive. Handling will change though, need to play with the bars. Oh, I see a donation. I'll have to read some of those later. It's going to be hard to do. Well, I'm trying to monitor Bobby Rahal in my mirror here. Looking up the inside of me, try to get a good run out of 2. These 2 in front. Teo Fabi, Unser Jr. just dicing it back and forth. Try to get around them. I'm definitely quicker than these 2 right now. Bobby's looking up the inside too. Oh, he's gonna do it. Rahal, I give him that for a second. I'm getting held up, so I might actually be quicker than Rahal, but it's all about getting through the traffic and everything. It's held up a little bit there. Come down the inside into 1. Unser Jr. there, blocking it a little bit. All right, this is getting pretty frustrating, but just need to play it cool. Settle the car into turn 3. I think if I can get a nice run coming out of 4, front straightaway is my best place to pass. Oh, Rahal's looking up the inside there. See if I can sling it up the inside. Unser Jr. as well. Able to do it, but he's going to come back on me. Keep it low, pinch it. There we go, through the kink now. Oh, we'll try to get Fabi here too. Use a little bit of the apron. Oh, slide up. Luckily don't get into him. All right, got past him. Let's go. Let's get the afterburner on and get away from that group of folks. Up to 7th position's not too bad. Put it down to 5th gear for some reason. Get a little more oomph with that, but I can still blow the engine if I rev it too high, so. Right. Car feels pretty good. It's understeering a little bit coming out of the corner, but that'll go away with the fuel burn. Oops, scraped the wall a little bit. Even something like that, if I had full damage on, that might have broken the wing, which is just so unforgiving. Yeah, everybody always comments on the mirrors in these old sims. You can't see very far side to side with a 4x3, window, so you need that peripheral. Not realistic, but it's a good thing to have. All right, so catching, I want to say it's probably Rick Mears in front there in the yellow car. Maybe Scott Pruitt in front of him. Not sure. We're in 7th. Definitely lost a ton of time there battling with Unser Jr. And I can already see lap traffic up there causing a traffic jam. Sometimes the AI actually do really well around this track with passing lap cars, which is nice to see. But Rick Mears there quite slow. See if I can get up the inside of him into 1. There we go. Pass Rocket Rick. That's the real winner in the race. Yeah, and it is Scott Pruitt here in the 3 car. Some tracks that AI have difficulty passing the slower cars, but it doesn't seem to be the case here. But they do stack up once in a while. Got a little bit of a run on Pruitt there. But watch for that famous Pruitt fade, right? Oh, he's trying to get around this slower car. Oh, Rick coming back around too. Oh, Pruitt dives in the pits there. Oh my God. Pit from the outside lane. What was that about? Way early for a pit stop. Oh, heart attack moment. Give it a second here. My God. I've never seen a car try to do that. They usually slow down. Oh, there we go. Good run on Rick. He's getting held up. I scraped the inside wall. Down into turn 1. Yeah. That's quite frightening. I know when the cars start pitting, it gets difficult. I wasn't expecting a car to be pitting there. It'll come around the outside. Brayton here in front. Oh, it's a little scary, a little sketchy coming around. You're going to understeer coming out of 4. There we go. Outside pass on some of the slower cars. That won't work on the actual quick cars. Yeah, that was a bad move. Come up the inside of Dobson there. As long as I can get side by side with the cars before the kink, it's all right to pass, but low side here under the 21. The laps just tick away. We're already almost 20 laps into this thing. Up on Kevin Kogan here. Kogan, of course, I think his 89 season can be summed up by the massive accident at Indianapolis, which is forever a highlight. And crashing into the pit wall there. First couple laps of the race, too. All right, I got a little bit of space here. Let's see if I can open this up. Car's feeling quite good now, so I'm down to 30 gallons of fuel. And that's when it starts to come alive. I can really push without understeering so much. Three, four. I'm behind, looks like Emerson Fittipaldi there. 20 cars in front of me. Picked up a lot of spots, so the start a little frustrating there for a few laps, but since I got around Fabi, it's been all right. And yeah, I think Emo's stuck in all this traffic ahead, which I'm about to get stuck in as well. So in a lot of circumstances, the AI are actually better at getting around the traffic than I am. You have to be really careful with it. No reason to push it, especially this early on. It looks like we got AJ Foyt there on the outside. The inside. On the inside, hit that curbing. Got Danny Sullivan right in front. Oh, it looks like we have a bunch of the leaders right here. Trying to get past Rahal Boisel, maybe? Sullivan there. Thought about going up the inside, but not the best idea. One of the Newman Haas cars as well. Fittipaldi on the extreme outside line. And they're 3 wide here down the front straightaway. God, this is too much. I see 3 cars here. These 2 lap cars are side by side, so they're having trouble getting around them. I'm gonna try to stick with it. Got a car right behind me now. Not sure who it is. Oh, got a nice run. And come up the inside of Sullivan. He's going to pinch me down, though. Yeah, it's Emerson. Emerson, one of the Newman Haas cars here. Looks like it actually might be Mario, the number 5. So it might be Michaels in the lead. Out of turn 4, nice run. Down the front straightaway. Can't take it 3 wide. That's just too much on an early lap. That's Sullivan still on the outside of me. Not to get blocked in by Mario. Ugh, this traffic is very difficult. Yeah, I'm definitely saving some fuel, but this is not how I wanted to do it. Boisel's just running like the middle of the track and blocking everybody. Here goes Mario on the extreme outside. Sullivan up the inside. It's good fighting, but it's so tense. I kind of just have to sit and wait for it to shake out a bit. There we go. Emerson's got up the inside of Boisel. They do figure it out eventually. I mean, you see the races in real life. This might be a little extreme, but it also is not super unrealistic. It's pinched down there underneath the lapped cars. These 3 are just going to go now. We lost a ton of time to the leader, I'm sure. Let's see now how fast these guys really are. Just sticking with them, which is pretty good. 25 gallons of fuel left. Into turn 1 here. 168 laps to go. Just trying to take a nice line. These guys are pretty much just as quick as I am, so it's all about this traffic situation, and wherever the leader is, it doesn't make me too optimistic unless they have some kind of issue, which is totally possible. Come now, we've got some more lap cars ahead. We're catching them for the second time already. So I can maybe take advantage of this. I don't know. I don't want to do anything too wild. Maybe on the last lap I would throw it up the inside there, but let's see. Maybe I can stick it around the outside, get around Fittipaldi, that lap car. All right. I think I picked up 4th place there. No, it doesn't take long. This whole race, you know, especially if it goes green, is going to be under an hour and a half. It's really quick, and most of the Indy races were about that length, so doing a full-length season here is not that crazy. But there's 3 500-mile races that will be quite long ones to do. Oh, we got Pancho Carter here. So we're starting to catch some of the quicker lapped cars, I'd call them. Pancho's the mid-packer. Sneak up the outside of him into one. There negotiating. Dobson, he gets held up into turns 3-4. I got a car on the outside of me now. Gets held up a little bit down the front straightaway. Oh, come down the inside. That's a move. Oh, Hot Mario sleeping there, getting around Dobson, able to get around him as well, up to 3rd place now. Try to string it out. He's gonna be quick, so I gotta watch my back now, passing some of the slower cars. Alright. Turn 3 here on the low side. Kevin Kogan, Ari Lyondike here. Should be quicker than both of them. Sneak up the inside. Ari there is challenging me for it. Oh my God. Alright, we're going to check the pit board here for laps. I like using the pit board rather than the F menus and throw them up once in a while. So I'm in P3, 160 laps to go. We're about half tank of fuel. So I'm actually doing really well on fuel. I think there was a lot of laps there where I was waiting behind the lapped cars. But I'm actually averaging out to 80 laps right now in the tank. The more the better, because if I can shorten the last stint worth of fuel, the fuel is what takes the most time in the pits. So I want to try to push, go as far as I can. Especially if it stays green, I think having longer stints up front and then I can short pit at the end. As long as I'm taking more than 20 gallons or so that I can still do a tire change in that time. Car's great, it's floating into the corners. I'm chasing Danny Sullivan. I can see the gold car up there. You hear a car horn in the background. I do have my windows open. It's getting quite warm in Boston now, so enjoy the sounds of the city behind me. Pretty much neck and neck with Sullivan here. He's in the 1 car, so he's right ahead of me. Try to relax a little bit. I'm so tense. It's very challenging to get through that lap traffic like that. There's Pavel in the chat. Track's amazing. This is such a nice version of Phoenix compared to the one that shipped with IndyCar 2. I think the one that shipped with IndyCar 2 is actually the same exact shape as Nazareth, which they're very different. Even though they're both triangle tracks, they're very different. 154 laps. So if I can get to 125 to go or something in pit. That'll be pretty good. I'll have to see how everybody else does pit-wise. Big string of lapped cars ahead, so we've come around again on one of the slow packs. Cars will be dropping out of the race here and there too. Not exactly sure how high the attrition will be, but got a bunch of cars here. Sullivan's getting held up in the high line. Maybe get around him here in the low side. We go up for second now. Trying to just sneak into a little slot here. So taking second away from Sullivan's all traffic. Ooh, the whole pack checks up a little bit there. One thing you got to watch out for, the famous IndyCar 2 checking up. Sullivan's on the low side of me now. I'm going to be able to sneak up the inside. Oh, Sullivan hit me when I caught the car too, which is not easy to do. Man, we knocked wheels there. Trying to get back on me then. Maybe I can sneak up the inside, I don't know. Sullivan's gotten around a good number of these guys. This is too bad too, because I'm on lower fuel now. This is when I could really turn out the fast laps. Oh, and Andretti's coming around the outside now, so losing a couple spots because of this traffic. See if I can maybe sneak up the inside then. Be quite aggressive with it, just throw it into one, take the low line, sweep out a little bit. There we go. Past that whole group. Back around Andretti, so I'm back up to third. Got Boiselle now. Out of the turn, just get on that throttle. Little group here, AJ Foyt on the outside, Scott Brayton in front of him. Ooh, check up there. Nervous about the pit stops now. If the AI cars decide to pit when I'm below them, I don't know if they know better than to turn in. All right, so P3 still. We're getting through that whole mess. Can't believe we touched there. That doesn't happen much in IndyCar 2 without making a big accident. It's also really hard to save the car if you slide. And I did a little save there too, so one save, one near-death experience so far, if not more. Got around that 12 car. I see Sullivan ahead negotiating. More cars around the outside. The outside is not too bad to pass if it's just a single-lapped car. How they would have done it in real life anyway. Close up on these two guys so quick. Nowhere to go going into the kink. You're going to go too wide. Maybe you have to do the same thing Sullivan did here. Just try to skate around the outside. Side by side with the Granatelli car. There we go. Oh, man. 13 gallons. You want to check my tires. So the front right is a little yellow, but we're not doing too bad. If I pushed really hard, if I was understeering a lot, you can absolutely blow a tire. Yeah, there's no force feedback in this, unfortunately. Alright, inside here, a couple lap cars. Leaves the inside open, but I didn't know he was going to do that. Surprised there hasn't been a yellow flag, to be honest. AI will cause their own yellow flags. I don't have to be the one that does that. 40 laps to go. So I could pit now and make it to the end on one more stop. But I don't want to do that. Right now I'm going to run the fastest laps that I can run on low fuel. And that would mean both of my next stops I have to really fill it up all the way. Also leaves less options if there's a yellow flag. line through 3 and 4. When you get the line right in these cars, it's a lot of fun to drive them. But getting around the lap traffic is really difficult. Sullivan was really able to pull out there. I've got almost a 5-second lead on 4th place though, which looks like Emerson Fittipaldi behind me, so must have got around Mario, or Mario might have pit. They might start pitting soon. You can see a number of cars in the pit lane, so I have a car coming up behind me, though. I'm a little worried this might actually be the leader behind me, which feels crazy to think, being in 3rd place, that I might be going a lap down here. But Rick Mears, who won this race in real life, actually lapped the whole field, so it's not unrealistic. I'm surprised, though. Got held up a few times. I'll do my best to try to stay in front of him, but I think that's probably Michael Andretti who's in the lead in my mirrors. Pretty discouraging. He's awful quick, but the Andrettis, they don't have the best luck, so we'll have to see how it all pans out. Push here. Got a good run down the front straightaway. I think I'm a little faster actually in a straight line, so that's going to help me hopefully keep the lead. I'm up on a couple lap cars. This is where it could all fall apart. These two are going to make it difficult for me. Ugh. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, and he gets blocked, though. Trying to get down the low side. I had to dip out of the throttle a couple times there to get the car to turn. Oh, saved by the lap traffic. They're probably wondering where the hell we're going. High side, low side, just pick somewhere. There we go, up the inside of Brayton here into turn 3. Yeah, it's absolutely the leader behind me. I know it. I saw the number 6, Michael Andretti. 132 laps to go. He's going to pit soon, though, and I'm going to pit. Maybe he's just a little bit quicker on low fuel, and I can, on the high fuel, maybe reel him back in a little bit. But a yellow flag, I think, will be required if I'm going to have any hopes of catching him, obviously. Got him right behind me, though. Staying in front of him, though. I'm doing the Boiselle thing and blocking the middle of the track. Two side by side in front, side by side in the kink. Andretti then up the inside. Dobson here in the 9s, really sliding out high. Slip underneath him, but leader's able to get around, so I think I'm a lap down now, even though I'm in 3rd position. Joe Carter here on the outside. But it's not all over yet. There's a lot of race to go. Plenty can happen. I have seen the leader retire with mechanical troubles or crash out of the race so many times in IndyCar too, so really worth sticking with it. And a 3rd place finish, even if I don't pick up any more spots, would be really good. Oh, the car got so loose there. I don't know if you could see that. It started sliding. Take the inside. I'm going to try to take the outside as much as I can through the turns now, especially through turn 4, just because I might decide to pit. Out here in front of me. Really sticking around the outside. I'm pulling back in on Andretti a little bit. We're getting close to pit stop time. Imagine these guys will all think about pitting here in a sec. Oh, they both go. Man, that was close. All right. Underneath Kogan here, coming out of 2. So going to do a couple more laps before I pit. I don't want to push it too far. I'm a little worried about the right front. I'm back on the lead lap, so this is the time where I could cross my fingers for a caution flag. Car's coming out of the pits now. I think that's actually Andretti here Around the outside of him. I put a lap on Andretti. It's crazy how much the pits affect things on a short track here. But I'm P1 now, so leading a lap, I think you get a point for. Should mention, you get points, the top 12 get points in CART's points, points championship. So I think as long as I stay in the race, I should easily be able to finish top 12. But I think leading some laps actually gets you points as well. Alright, we're going to pit this time. Could do a few more laps, but I'm a little worried about the right front. I'm out of turn 4. Hopefully most of the cars will pit at this point. A few cars in front stopping. Come up to the pit stall. Don't have to worry about speeding, just stopping the marks. A little slow on the entry. Oh man, heck of a first stint though. The second one's anything like that. I hope it stays green, honestly. Although the yellow flag would be nice to catch back up. If it stays green, that'll at least keep the field spread out. Won't have to deal with the huge packs of lap traffic, but that's how quick it is, up and away. 80 mile an hour pit speed. I don't have a limiter or anything, so just kind of stick on it. And gotta remember, I got cold tires here. Just been racing with hot, very well set up car. Pushed a little bit coming out of the pits there. Got a car right behind me too. It looks, that might be the leader actually. Maybe I stayed on the lead lap through the pit cycle. He's gonna be very fast. He's got up to temperature, up to heat on his tires and everything. It's our car through the pit wall there. Don't mind that. Alright, we're back on the circuit. I'm gonna lower the rear bar one just to make sure I don't oversteer or spin out coming out of the corner. Alright, P3, 120 laps to go. Narrowing in already on halfway. First pit cycle pretty much done, I'd imagine. I got one of the Newman Haas cars right behind me. I think it's probably the leader because I can see the other Newman Haas car in front. And I'm catching it, so. I'm gonna try not to Bristol it at the end. Those of you that weren't in the NASCAR 1 streams, last lap of the race I got crashed out by a lapped car. Yeah, you can't sleep at any point during this. I still got to be very careful. I'm in 5th gear right now, but that works better when I'm on full fuel for a few laps. Just need to make sure I don't over rev at the end of the straightaway. Yeah, 5th gear is a little bit more torque, so I can accelerate better out of the corners since I'm slower mid-corner speed. Come up the inside of Al Jr. here, though. I think I might be putting Jr. a lap down. It was wild to think, but not doing so well today, I guess. I think I'm barely on the lead lap right now. This is one of the, yeah, I can see it's the 5s. This is Mario in front of me, being held up by a couple lapped cars. So I got Michael on the outside, then both Haas cars. Mario cuts in front. Maybe Mario's helping out his teammate and son. Oh, he goes right around the outside of us. The shake, give him the Italian hand. Oh! Into turn 1. That's maybe my temper there. Taking his hand off the wheel and crashing. I think I might have got away with that without damage. Well, we got yellow flag now, so the field is frozen. Going to save mode. I think I took out Unser Jr. as well there. But going down the front straightaway, I think we went a little side to side. I don't think I've got damage somehow. So we lucked out. We got away with it. Oh. Well, that's what happens, I guess, when you don't play it cool anymore. Hold on, we'll watch the replay real quick. I'm not opposed to that. That was 100% my fault, but I'll blame the Andrettis. They seem to be easy to blame, so watch coming out of 4. The whole pack of cars Gonna sling it up the inside, and we'll have to look at the other view too. But yeah, I lucked out actually hitting Junior. I think that's what stopped me from hitting the wall a bit harder, which would have definitely damaged the car. But let's see the other view here. Oh, this will be the good one. Coming up the inside. I don't know, who was it? He definitely went down. He might have been coming to take the corner, so racing incident, but I don't know how I didn't get damage. The rear end hit wasn't heavy enough to get it, but oh my god. All right, so we'll look at the results as we're pacing here. So I'm 1 lap down in 3rd position. Sullivan got away with staying on the lead lap, so we're not looking good at this point for like doing better. Yeah, I mean, if I had realistic damage on it, it would have absolutely been race over. But Sullivan's on the lead lap. Michael Andretti is leading the race. I hit one of the numbers. I made the grass disappear. There we go. Emerson Fittipaldi's behind me, though. Rick Mears, Bobby Rahal, Mario Andretti, Derek Daly, John Andretti, Ari Leyendijk. Take a look. So 24th is the last car running right now. 6 laps down. We got 2 cars out. Scott Pruitt, who hit in Teo Fabi. So the Porsche's reliability didn't make it. I mean, I don't think the realistic damage in this game's unrealistic. I think it's a little severe for how easy it is to control the cars. Making small adjustments isn't super easy. So all the time you'd come up and do something like that, just like a little wall kiss that in another sim I don't think you would do. And so that's where it's unfair, I think. But I don't know. It doesn't look like Al Jr.'s out either. So yeah, I thought about coming in for fuel, but yeah, I would start behind all of the lapped cars, which is not worth it. I'm going to be out front here. I'm going to be a couple cars back. I guess both of the Newman Haas cars are right up there. So I got Scott Brayton right in front of me, and then Michael and Mario Andretti. All right, so we'll come. I mean, I guess the strategy right now is just got to be to try to hang in there and see what happens out front between Sullivan and Andretti and hope for the best. But we'll come around here. Tires are going to be a little cold now after all that. We'll try to settle in, get around Brayton here quick, and then back to it. A little bit slow on the restart. It's tough. They check up sometimes, so you got to be careful on the starts. Whoa, right into the sight of Brayton. We go around the inside. Clear him. Looks like I got Mario directly in front of me again. Hopefully he lets me by a little easier now. Car feels okay, so I got away with it. Understeering a little bit, stiffen up that rear bar. Alright. Gotta get around Mario here, but Michael's just on another world today. Happy to get away with that incident. Not something you'd get away with very often. Believe you me. I do a wide sweeping entry into turn 3 so that I can get on the gas sooner on the exit. I understeered that whole turn that time. Tires are still coming up. There we go. Cut into him a bit coming into 1. I can get a good run coming out of 4. I think that's my best opportunity to pass Mario, but understeering there. So there's only 2 cars out of the race, so there's still so much traffic. But yeah, 6 laps down at the back. So clearly some very slow cars out there. Not too bad. Understeering so much. I'm afraid to increase the rear roll bar just because if it spins, it really just goes on you. And I'm a little free through turns 1 and 2. I'm gonna try it here though. I really want to get around Mario. I don't want to be behind him for so many laps. Yeah, I can feel the car just turn so much better with the roll bar like that. But still, he's very quick coming out of the corner. I lowered the brake bias instead of the bar. It's a little confusing with all the buttons. Rookie mistakes. Yeah, that was actually a good point. I didn't even think about the tires being worn out more from all the spinning. Check them in a second. They feel fine, but maybe they're a bit more worn than they would have been, so by the end of the run it'll be difficult. Use the apron a little bit there to help turn the car. I got a nice run on Andretti now. I think I gotta go for it. Up the inside. He lets me have it. Finally, get around Mario. Mario won this race in 1989, and he had his final win here in 1993, so he was very good at Phoenix. And it's crazy to think a driver that, you know, won the Formula One World Championship in '78 and started racing in Formula One, I think in 1970, won an IndyCar race in 1993. Long career. But he was Mario Andretti, so not many like him. All right, halfway, 100 laps to go. So first half of the race has been pretty action-packed. Of course, we're going to have one less lap to do from being a lap down, but if I can come away with a top 5, I'm going to be pretty happy with this. Despite the crash, to avoid that, but I'll just pretend I didn't hit the wall very much. I swear these cars are getting slower and slower at the back. Hogan here too, so if I can get in underneath them before the turn. Right to the grass there. This is good. When the lapped cars are spread out like this, it's a lot easier to take them one at a time. On the high side, I guess, of Boiselle. Seems to be the tough one to pass. Underneath Brayton there. Already done a full lap on Brayton. It's pretty wild. 6 laps to go. So I'm on the same lap as Sullivan, so second place is not out of the question here. Ooh. Back out of it. I didn't like the entry there into 3. Easily on the front straightaway. It's stuff like that that can easily end your race. Just gotta be patient with it. Underneath Foyt here. Foyt's actually gained quite a few positions. That's good after a terrible start for him. Alright, 94 laps to go. So once we get under, I would say 75 laps to go, we are in the final pit window, but similar to earlier, I just want to stretch that as far as I can go. Further the better. Tires look okay. All greens all around, so looks like we got away with that a little bit. Should be able to short pit at the end. Yeah, Emerson Fittipaldi is another one. It seems like there was a few drivers from that 70s era that really raced for a long time. I always liked that growing up, seeing like an AJ Foyt who had his first start at Indy in the early 60s, still racing. He was, I think it was one of his final Indy 500s, he finished in the top 5. So he wasn't slow. You know, he obviously wasn't winning races after the early 80s, but it wasn't just a chicane. at the oval circuits especially. Looks like I'm actually losing a little bit of time to Sullivan. Gotta just clean up my lines here and push. Plenty of time for stuff to happen. I can see quite a lot of lapped cars ahead. I pulled in a little bit on Sullivan that time. Just need to keep doing that. When I got clean track, I really got to take advantage of it. Across the line, 88 to go. Yeah, there are big packs, but that's not that unrealistic either. Oh, I get a freebie there under a couple cars. I'm wide into the turn. If you watch the real race, there's absolutely packs of lapped cars, and it's hard to get away from everybody on a 1 mile oval. Derek Daly in front here, switching lanes, trying to get around number 9. Get up the inside. They're both trying to get around Kogan here. Oh, really? That was a really tough turn in. Luckily, the car stuck. Danny Sullivan is in second. That's who I'm catching. Trying to catch. Still holding around 12 seconds, even though I'm getting through all this traffic, so not doing too bad with it. Ooh, these two nearly identical red cars in front. Swoop underneath one of them there. We got Unser Jr. in front. I'm sure he's not super happy with me. We're taking him out into turn 1. Still both in the race, so that's good. There'll be somebody to watch out for on the road tracks, mostly, I think. Especially Long Beach coming up. At the inside of Ari Lyondike in front here. Difficult situation. Oh, Ari spun. Wow, luckily he didn't try to go high or something. Maybe a yellow flag because of that, I'm not sure. Surprised if the yellow doesn't come out, but it looks like it might not. Poor Ari spun. He must have backed it into the wall and immediately went going again. So action at every stage of the race. I'm not sure why that wasn't a caution. I would expect that to have definitely been a caution, but made things interesting. I think we can make it to the end from here, so just barely, so we would have had to turn back the fuel and everything. Nice run on Unser Jr. here. See if I can set him up coming out of 4 to get around. Still gets a nice run out of 4. Pulling on the front straightaway, but not quite enough. Get a good run out of 2. Makes it hard out of 2 because you got this in the middle of the back straightaway. Not a good turn to try to pass. Go a little closer this time, hopefully. Get a run on the front straightaway. Go up the inside. Try not to take each other out. There we go, make the pass. That was actually a pretty difficult pass. The line, half tank 76 laps to go. I can make it to 50 to go. That might be a good time to pit and take 30 gallons and make it pretty easily, I think, to the end from there. Run here through the corner. All right, 13 seconds. So I've pretty much held the gap with Sullivan, but not really pulling it in. Lap traffic. I'm getting around Unser Jr. there. Oh, that's a little late on the pass through the kink. Touch the grass. Come around the outside, I guess, of this yellow car. It's a little uncomfortable. Down to 12 seconds. Yeah, I just gotta take advantage where I can around the traffic. Might be coming up on Rick Mears, actually, which is not what I expected. And Bobby Rahal as well. Some of the quickest cars on the track. And put a lap on them. Trying to negotiate the back markers. Up a little bit. It's Kogan. I feel like Kogan's always getting in the way. Oh, coming to turn one. Mears pinches me down, but I'm able to get through there. Bobby Rahal now in front. I got a lap on Rick Mears in my first IndyCar race. Not too bad. $70 laps to go. We're well within one pit getting to the end now, but I'm going to do some of my fastest laps here. I want to push it. Rahal's going to try to sneak up the inside maybe of this lapped car. Pull this all up. Come out of the turn. Got to go low. Don't do the same thing I did with Mario. Oh, he gets really close to me there into turn one. Able to squeeze past. Had a few practice incidents doing stuff like that, so getting a little more aggressive now with the passes. I really want to try to catch Sullivan here. You never know, it could be a fight for the lead, even though he's second place right now. Well, still enough race to go that something could happen to Michael. I think it was the 93 Phoenix race where the leader of the race crashed out, I think two different times, two different leaders, but happen. You saw what happened to Ari there, who's actually in front of me now. Put the apron into one. Through past Ari. 13 gallons of fuel left. Car's feeling good. Let's see what the gap is to Sullivan here. Like 9.2, so I've pulled in a few seconds actually. That's good. I think we're almost identical speed on actual pace, but it's the lap traffic which is making the difference, and if I can just time it a little bit better, I might be able to pull him in. He pulled back out on me. It was 12 seconds a couple laps ago, but through the corner here. Wide sweeping line under a lapped car. We narrowed up turn one more. 7.7 seconds now. So I'm pulling him in here ever so slightly. Maybe I have to get around this pack of cars though. We'll see. Wow, really close to the wall coming out of 2. That's a really easy place to hit the wall. It's very close to the track, and then it suddenly opens up. You almost want to barely, come as close to it as you can on the exit to widen the corner. 5.8 seconds now, so something is held up. Well, it might be him, actually. A couple cars up there, not sure yet. See a white car. Might be a Newman Haas car, though. Might be Mario again. You know what happened last time? I was passing Mario in lap traffic, so let's hope this goes a little better. Gotta get under Carter here before the kink. Coming out of the turn, and big checkup from the car in front. Yeah, it is Mario. Almost slid up into the 12 car there too. This is probably where Sullivan lost a bunch of time. 10 gallons of fuel. Really want to get around these cars. I'm not going to throw it 3 wide there. Not going to end well. Car in front sweeps out wide a little bit. Going to turn 3. It's yellow and blue car. I'm forgetting who that is, but it's one of the slowest cars on the track. All right, there we go. Come around these 2. Luckily, they're very slow. Get them on the front straightaway. All right. Got around that whole gaggle of cars. Now closing in on Mario Andretti. A nice run through 3 and 4. So much speed compared to some of these cars. It's impressive. I love the field spread. It makes it, you're always passing cars, you always have cars to catch. Quite dynamic. Got Kogan there from around the outside. Got 8 gallons. Eight gallons to go, 55 laps. So I think what I'll do here, try to figure out my strategy as I'm driving, which is always fun. I think I can fill it to 30 gallons with 50 laps to go, and that'll be fine for the end. Should still be able to put tires on, but my pit stop will be a little bit quicker. Should be good. Hopefully, I don't know, Sullivan fills it up or something all the way. We'll go a few more laps. Up behind Mario again, which is always difficult to pass. Surprised he's actually as far back as he is, because he's quite quick. It's the yellow line there. Yeah, you can pause the game to do the strategy, but that's no fun. Laps to go. I push it a few extra laps. As long as these 2 don't cause a whole issue with me. On the outside of Brayton, maybe. Ooh, it's gonna squeeze me up. It's not good. Lost a lot of time there. And Mario into 1. 50 laps to go. Back to 10 seconds behind Sullivan. Maybe a couple laps on Mario, but he's quite quick. I don't want to pit too early, but I might pit, because I think I am losing time behind him. It's not a ton, like in a 9.2. So I think I'll come in this lap. Fuel light just came on anyway. Should be plenty of fuel with 30 gallons. It'll be a little bit quicker than a 40-gallon pit stop as well. Get tires. Oh, there comes Mario in as well. Of course, holds me up a little bit under the pit stall down to first gear. Fill it up. Oh, it looks like Fittipaldi's in as well and sat there, so. Went away, and there's Sullivan too. He's actually battling Sullivan there. And I got him in my sights now. Just don't speed in the pit lane. We try to get out cleanly. Hopefully nobody pulls in front of me. Get to the line there. Pedal down. All right, got cold tires, but that felt like a good pit stop. I think Sullivan's quite far ahead, but maybe I gained on him a little bit. Just try to get the tires up to temperature here. Still in fifth gear, but it'll help me while I'm a little slower accelerate. Sixth gear. 45 laps to go. E3, 6 seconds off, so I think I gained a couple seconds on him total through the cycle, which is good. And not sure. Check the leaderboard in a second. Thought I saw a Newman Haas car. Maybe it was Mario that I passed. Domestic thinking it was Michael. Yeah, Michael Andretti's in the lead, and he's expertly pacing the field today, but that'll happen. It's kind of how the racing was in the 90s. There'd be a car just way quicker. And I know from doing some practice races, it's not the same car every race or the same couple of cars that are quick. So it'll make for a pretty interesting championship. See if I can round out this one though. Ooh, come on the high side there. 40 laps, still a little bit of time. Sure everything still goes well. Yeah, there wasn't a pit lane speed limit in 1989, but IndyCar 2 is based in 1995 rules and everything, so 80 miles an hour is the limit, which I think was first introduced in 1994 as the limit. I think it was 100 for the few years before that. All right, car coming out of the pits there. I got a couple lap cars right in front of me. Derek Daly. Understeering a little bit coming through turn 4. Both of these guys. Now's the time to push a little bit more. Here we go. Coming up behind Ari now. Hopefully he doesn't spin again. 2.9 seconds behind Sullivan. Can't see him yet, which is surprising. Be that close, but he's out wide. Of course, we've got Kogan right in front. I think that might be Sullivan just heading into turn 1 now, so pedal to the metal, I guess. Maybe he can get a second place out of this if I can push hard. Across the line, 37 to go, 2.8 seconds. I think I'm quicker on a lap, but there goes Sullivan up the inside of a lapped car, so got him in sight now. Got to keep on him. Hopefully I can get around these lapped cars better than he can, and just generally be a little bit quicker. Really push now. The car slid a little bit there in turn 1. Got to monitor that. It's easy for the car to go from driving really nicely to spinning out. Ooh, the car goes to the pit lane. Lifted for just a second. 2.3. Right in here. fades out, coming out of 4, dip down the inside. Looks like Sullivan's fighting with somebody up there. I can only hope that it's one of the quicker cars so that it takes him a couple laps to get around, maybe. 2.1 seconds now. We're really closing in. This is good. I was 12, 14 seconds back at one point, so because of the pit cycle, just because of lap traffic, slowly reeling him in. Two laps to go. Whoa. That one a little sharp. Use the banking to get us around. He's stuck behind these two cars. Looks like one of the... might be Emerson actually there. So Emerson's pretty quick. I think he's in the top 5 maybe. So having him hold up Sullivan here. Sullivan's hung out on the outside behind Pancho Carter, forming a little bit of a group here as we're all catching lapped cars. All right, so right on the back of Sullivan, second position right in front of me now. Off the inside of Carter as well if I can. Just sneak through with Sullivan leading the way. We're gonna both come down the front straightaway underneath a couple lapped cars. All right, it's just me and him now. Miller High Life car directly in front. Gonna go to the outside, try to get around a lapped car. Maybe I can get him on the inside. Split him coming out of the corner. He gets held up. Here we go. Get second position around Sullivan. Get it into turn 1. All right. I just got to get a little bit of a gap on him here. Got 20 gallons of fuel left. Plenty of fuel to get to the end of the race. Just need to watch this lap traffic because I'm sure Sullivan will be pushing on me as well. 28 laps to go. Got a whole lap down on the leader. Hogan fades out wide out of turn 2. Really liking the runs he can get out of turn 4. It's fun to pass cars in this game. I've always found because you have to. It's not just brainless most of the time to pass, you know, a car of equal speed as you. You got to try to set them up in the right spots. Unser Jr. in front. You can see the gap to Sullivan there. Maybe he still got caught up behind one of the cars. Come down into turn 1. Oh, take a little bit advantage of those two getting caught up with each other. But I knew the number 9's a little slow. Turn 1. Ooh. Oh, that was so close. I had to basically try to avoid the number 12 there. I was going to slide up into him and almost spun myself out doing so. My God. It's almost like what Paul Tracy did in 1993. All right. Don't need to be doing that. Got Sullivan probably coming back in on me, although I see Unser Jr. in the mirror. The 12 car is going to try to pass. Yeah, I almost died there, for sure. Not so easy to catch a car in IndyCar 2. Once they spin, they're spinning most of the time. Oh, so slow coming out of turn 4. I did that wrong. Gonna come up the inside again, but gonna get pinched down by, I think, Randy Lewis in front of me here. Toshiba car. Well, I got Sullivan right on me now. Yeah, I've wasted a lot of time behind these lapped cars. I can maybe come around the outside of Lewis. There we go. Get him. Should get this yellow car in the front straightaway. I got a little bit of clear track again. 22 laps to go. Oh my God. I thought I was going to get that lapped car, the 12, coming into turn 1, and he just turned in with me. I didn't quite get alongside of him enough. Turned in with me, and I had to put it into evasive maneuvers. Turns 3, 4. Get into the twilight hours of this one. On 180 laps around here. So much has happened. Strategies worked out all right. Oh, car got so loose on the bottom. Sullivan's going to have a bit of a run. Maybe I can pin him out wide. Line Dyke in front. Oh no, Sullivan's got around the outside, but maybe I can get him on the front straightaway with these lapped cars. They both go low. I'm gonna try to go high as well. Sullivan got around me then for second. All right, just try to keep right on him. I think I'm quicker. It's just the lap traffic at the wrong times. He's quick. He's turning up the afterburner there. The AI do go slower on certain parts of the race too, so they're quite smart. It makes them a lot of fun to race, but not when you think you have a position and he gets back around. Getting right to the end of this one. I'd love to get second back. Gets held up a little bit with this lapped car. We can both take him into turn one. Oh, he comes down on me a little bit. A little bit. I might make up that rear bar for turns 3, 4. There's turning in fine, so I don't really need to fool around with the front bar. It's a little loose coming out of 2, but into 4, it's very tight coming out of the turn. We'll try the bar. I'm a little worried about it. There we go. Yeah, it's much better. We'll have to adjust it on the straightaway because I don't want to go through turns 1 and 2 like that. 15 laps to go. Catching another group of lapped cars. Let's see how we can time it. Oh, Sullivan gets held up a little bit. Lap car goes high. I'll sweep down low. Coming through the exit. We got 2 in front. Kogan. Kogan holds up Sullivan. Oh, come down the inside. There's nowhere to go there. Side by side with Sullivan then coming out of turn 2 towards the kink. Oh, it's so hard on the inside. Kogan pinches me all the way to the line. Oh, I slide up. This is really risky stuff. Oh, Sullivan was able to get around the outside somehow. Maybe that's why Kogan had to pinch me there. I'll have a word with him after the race. 13 laps to go. Sullivan was able to get around those guys. My God. It's a true fight. I'm pushing pretty much as hard as I can now, so... Into turn 1. I got a nice run on him. He got held up by the 9 car. Oh, going to the grass. God, cut that very far. Luckily didn't spin out or anything. Not putting really any side force into the car there, so cut through the grass. Par for the course in this one so far. Done just about everything you can do except break my front suspension off or something. Well, it's only a pass through the grass if you actually pass somebody, and I didn't. Well, I guess I passed a lap car, so we'll call it the pass in the grass. All right, getting really towards the end of it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get around Sullivan. He keeps getting caught up with the slow traffic, but then I do as well. It's tough to both get around, with diverging lines. 9 laps to go. We're right on it now. Sticking quite nice. Right. Turn 2. Sullivan is slightly quicker than me, I think, alone, but catch up to him in the lap traffic, and then he's also good at getting around him, but he gets caught up for a minute, which allows me to catch up. Try to throw it in the corners. It's risky. I'm just waiting for the back end to step out. I really overshot that corner a bit, but look, it was quick. Caught up on him. I don't think I can drive any quicker. I tapped the wall there. Luckily, it's okay. Not too bad. All right, big group of lapped cars ahead. I think this might be it, depending on how we get through this whole cluster. Oh, he gets held up. Get around the low side, mid-corner. All right, got him now. Get on the front straightaway, try to pass some of these cars. Oh, I got one of the Andrettis and the Newman Haas on the low side. Oh, my God. Somehow find a space to get through the first turn. Got Derek Daly in front now, 3 wide into turn 3. Able to skate in front of them, though. That's the type of stuff I wouldn't do at the beginning of the race, but we're really pushing for it now. 4 laps to go. P2. Still a lap on Andretti, so I don't think it's going to happen. We could probably coast home now. Still got Sullivan right in my mirrors. We'll come out of turn 4. Got Mario Andretti, of course, ahead. Yeah, this is going to be a repeat of earlier in the race. Come down the inside into turn 1. Able to get him, though, this time. Give him a little more space around this yellow car coming into the kink. It's good. Got through a couple rounds of lap cars there. Ahead of Sullivan. He might be caught back behind Andretti, so just try to get focus forward. Get to the end of this. Just a few laps to go. White flag, actually. That's right. I'm a lap down, so it's already the last lap. One more corner ahead. We got a few lap cars, but I don't think I'll catch them till the front straightaway. Nice and easy into turns 3, 4. All right, there we go. It's not a win. It's not a win, but I finished. I got second position ahead of Sullivan. Such a good battle with him. Oh, man. That was a really intense race towards the end there, catching Sullivan and passing him, but I don't think I could have done much better than that. I think Michael Andretti was on another level in this one today, and put us all to school. But I mean, very easily he could have broken down, could have got in an accident. It's a little bit luck of the draw, and I think I maximized what I was going to be able to do with that. Thanks so much. Hope it was fun to watch. It was really fun to drive. This is a fun track to race around Phoenix with all the lap traffic like that. I love the different speeds of the cars. I mean, in my opinion, it's very realistic for the time. If you watch the races from the short ovals from the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, the racing was just like this. Cars diving in and out of each other. The battles for the positions get a little muddied because of the lap traffic, but it's fun. But it's fun. Phoenix is tense, and we'll take a look at the whole results and everything and orient ourselves with how everybody did here at Phoenix. Did an extra lap. I did a little bit of a victory lap, even though I didn't win. But there we are, crossing the finish line in the Sunoco-Papyrus. Lola Cosworth. Ryan Axelson's first race went pretty well, despite taking out Unser Jr. No sad crew today. That's right. They're not going to be sad finishing in second position. Oh man, I might save the replay. I don't know how much of it was saved. I don't know if it'll save the whole race or anything. Oh, it looks like it did. Wow. Cool. So I got the whole replay for it, but that's great. All right, we'll take a look at the results then. Michael Andretti wins the race. He led 197 laps. Axelson here, though, I got 2 laps led. That was on that first pit cycle. So I led a couple laps there. And looks like Danny Sullivan also had led a lap at one point, probably early on. So 3 leaders of the race finishing up front, but Michael Andretti put a whole lap on the field. So impressive run. He deserves the win, I guess, but it's too bad I couldn't have done anything about it. Danny Sullivan, though, finishing 3rd, and what a battle. He started 5th too, so we both came from a couple rows back. I did a lot more passing than him. But Emerson Fittipaldi in 4th, and Bobby Rahal rounding out the top 5. He actually started behind me too, so Bobby Rahal had a great race. Oh, Scully's tie, thank you so much. Well done, yeah. I don't think that could have gone too much better. I'm a little disappointed with that one accident with Andretti, but having done a lot of racing in IndyCar 2 over the years, it's actually not that bad overall. Rick Mears finishes in 6th position. Mario Andretti, who was so hard to get around the whole race, but he finishes in 7th. Derek Daly in 8th. Unser Jr. finishes in 9th. and Pancho Carter rounds out the top 10. So pretty good top 10 there. Ari Leyendyke, despite the spin, gets 11th, and Fabrizio Barbaza finishes 12th, which is the last points-paying position. We can see the points down the right side, which of course is going to become important here, but I got 16 points with the second place finish, and Michael Andretti got 21. So I think you only get, maybe you just get a point for leading the most laps. That's probably what it is. So he got that point. Good, which is good. We'll take a look here at the bottom, see what happened at the bottom. So we did have quite a few DNFs. Dale Fabi out with an engine. Teo Fabi out with an engine. Scott Pruitt also out with an engine issue. Oh, AJ Foyt. Yeah, that's right. I didn't see AJ after the first half, so he had a header issue. And then 3 engine issues. Roberto Guerrero, Raul Boisel in the Domino's car at lap 152. So towards the end, and then Jeff Andretti, right, with an engine issue there in 21st position. So not too bad of a result. There was a couple AI crashes, but we didn't get a caution. Interesting. And here we are at season standings now. So Michael Andretti, I keep thinking Mario. It's Michael Andretti in the 6th. He's up top, 21 points with a win. Top 5, top 10, and no pole. So Emerson Fittipaldi got the pole for the first one here, but I'm in 2nd position. Ryan Axelson there, 16 points. And Danny Sullivan's in 3rd overall. So that finishes round number 1 for the 1989 championship at Phoenix. I think it was a good race. I'm pretty happy with that. We'll be off to Long Beach next for round number 2 in the Long Beach Grand Prix. It'd be a much different event, but it's I think a good one. It's actually a road course I think I'm good at, although there's not a lot of margin for error around there, especially getting around lap traffic and stuff. So who knows how it'll be for young Ryan here. But yeah, appreciate everybody coming by. I hope it was fun. I want to try to get through this, reasonably quickly. The 500 milers are going to be ones I'll need definitely planned for a weekend day. The Indianapolis 500, Pocono 500, Michigan 500. Those will take like 3 hours to race. So I have to plan those for the weekend, but I might do some of the other races during the week since they're all about 2 hours long anyway. So yeah, it'll be fun doing Long Beach next. But I appreciate everybody coming. Hope it was fun to watch, and I'll see you all again next time. Thanks.